All right. You
Good
are
deal.
on with y'all 106.7. How are we feeling?
Oh, we're feeling good. Just running wide open and keeping the roads hot. Been out all over the place, just touring and staying busy.
There you go. What you got going on today? You writing?
Yeah, which is like a usual middle of the week, get in off the road and have a day to get settled in, and then you get back to it. So we're writing and got some meetings this afternoon in the usual weekday in Music City.
Oh, yeah, and fresh off of a long weekend. But you've got a local show here in Music City this weekend, which I'm excited to talk about. You're playing at the Nashville Dance Fest on September 8th. Is this your first time playing the festival? Because this is, I believe, only their second year, and it seems like it's an awesome event, just good people dancing to country music. You got to be excited for that.
Oh, man, yeah, that's everything I look for anytime I'm doing a show. And, this is my first time playing Nashville Dance Fest. So I'm excited to be there, and of course it's going to be an awesome lineup. I know we're going to be there on Sunday with Diamond Rio.
Diamond Rio,
super excited for, and it'll be a whole lot of fun. We're heading out. We're in Kansas City for the PBR Team Series event that the Kansas City Outlaws have Saturday night, and then we are turning around and hightailing it to be at Nashville Dance Fest Sunday, and I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. That is a busy week for you. And we just had the PBR in Nashville, the Nashville Stampede. I thought that was really cool to see it go from an individual sport to like a team sport. But that's just an action-packed weekend.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of fun coming my way this weekend. A little bit of road time, but a whole lot of country music and a whole lot of dancing.
You gonna whip out your dance moves or?
I don't know. I gotta see. I'm not sure if my band will disown me or not, but you never know. I know this is going to be a lot of line dancing, and that gets over my head pretty quick. But I know there'll be a bunch of people there teaching and leading and doing all that kind of stuff, so it'll be fun.
Well, we're super excited to see you. We'll be out there for the festival, and we're excited to see Diamond Rio as well. Here at Y'all 106.7, we play 80s, 90s, early 2000s. We call it the best country, the good stuff.
It is.
But you were raised on bluegrass out in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I would love to hear who your musical influences were.
Yeah, so, like a lot of those 80s and 90s country artists, actually, I was raised up playing traditional bluegrass music. And I was kind of a bluegrass nerd as a little flat-picking, guitar-playing kid. And I grew up on Tony Rice and Larry Sparks and Jimmy Martin and Flatt and Scruggs and the Stanley Brothers and all that the good stuff from the bluegrass world was my upbringing until I got into country music. And then I got into country music just like a lot of bluegrass artists transfer over to country music, and that's exactly what I did. And of course, I idolized the same guys that came before me, like Keith Whitley and Vince Gill and Marty Stewart and Ricky Skaggs and all these bluegrass artists who dipped a toe and went into the country world. And so that was my upbringing and exactly who I am. And now we write all kinds of songs and stuff like that kind of portray what that is and my culture and my upbringing. So it's got a little bit of everything from swampy kind of Jerry Reedy kind of stuff to rock and rollin' country music to some traditional good old fashioned honky tonk music too, and a little bit of everything. It's some bluegrass stuff in there. It's a lot of fun. So that was kind of my upbringing.
Oh, yeah, and I can definitely hear like a curation of all of that in your music, especially when you touched on like that swampy, edgy, deep country. Your new single, When It Rains, I love that.
Yeah.
You can kind of hear that like moodiness, in the beginning, The Preacher's Daughter, but then there's like a melody change up, and it almost gives us like that early 2000s, 90s country kind of pace. Yeah,
it's so funny, it's like I love that stuff so much, but I'm also, I was also a huge Merle Haggard fan, and I was also a fan of Tony Rice, and I was, the stuff that I grew up listening to was so wide and such a variety, but it all kind of takes me back to the hills that I was raised in. It all goes back to that Scots-Irish bluegrass, hollers and hills Appalachian upbringing and culture, and so I just like that last single was a lot of fun because it had a lot of that in there, and it's kind of rowdy, and it's got a lot of that on there, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, another one of my favorite songs of yours is kind of on the opposite end of that spectrum, kind of a love song, The Last Frontier. I love that. What does it say? Like, I know cowboys right away, but you can bury me right here. I finally found my last frontier. That's a beautiful song.
Thank you. Well, that's probably my favorite song I've been a part of since I moved to Nashville. And when we wrote that song, we had the idea of Last Frontier. I wrote it with Davis Corley and Lee Starr here in town, who are two of my good buddies. And we came to that conclusion of like, we're all country boys, and like I grew up in the country, and that's what I love. But when you start talking about a last frontier, like we started thinking, well, what if your last frontier was your woman's heart and getting to know her? Because the world's getting built up, and cities are getting bigger, and it's getting harder to find it. So that's kind of how we went with that. But I love that song, and I think I'm trying to think. I think I released that back in January earlier this year. So we've been hot on the releasing songs every 5 to 6 weeks. We got another song dropping September the 13th, and then really excited about the song after that too. A song called Devil's Den that we'll be playing. It's a big bluegrass, up tempo, country bluegrass kind of thing. Big love song, but yeah, we got a bunch of good stuff coming out, and the songs I've released this year, we've kind of been just consistently hammering down on that.
Heck yeah, keep cranking them out. And the one on September 13th, What is that one called?
It's a song called Blue Ridge Water.
Blue Ridge Water.
It's actually it's a kind of the theme of this last bunch of songs that I went in the studio and cut. I feel like a lot of them, I just wanted to go in the studio and cut some stuff kind of live, and I'm a guitar player, and I kind of like everything that I record to feel like it feels when you come and see me at a live show, so we went in and I just said, hey, let's just go in the studio, push record, and let's just live track these songs with some friends of mine on drums and bass, and I'll play, all the guitar work on there and stuff like that. And that's how we did it. So, When It Rains was recorded like that. This next song, Blue Ridge Water, was the same way, and Devil's Den. And they all a lot of them kind of pay homage to, themed, I guess, if you would. They all kind of pay homage to, where I was raised and kind of getting the culture that I was raised on, in these songs in kind of a different way, and it's a lot of fun to do that.
Yeah, well, we're very excited to hear the rest of your singles coming out this year. And then are you hitting the road? I saw you've been on the road with Zach Brown Band. What did you play with Ashley McBride?
Yeah. So we were lucky. I ended up doing the guesting in on the Nissan Stadium show with Zach Brown. We've been on the Devil I Know tour with Ashley McBride throughout the whole year on various dates. We were just with her actually up in Illinois for the state fair this past weekend, and we did the John Party tour earlier this year. Ashley McBride. I went out and did some dates with Parker McCollum and Corey Kent. We've had an exciting year, and we've been on the road a lot, and we've got a bunch of dates coming up with. I'm trying to think of who all. I'm going out and doing some shows. I know some of them are standalone with myself. I know we're doing some stuff with Corey Smith, and I know we're doing some stuff with Tracy Lawrence. We got a weekend run with Tracy coming up. Lee Bryce. We got all kinds of fun things. We're doing the thing in Kansas City this coming weekend before we get geared up for the Nashville Dance Fest. And we got a bunch of dates coming up the rest of the fall. It's going to be a busy rest of the year, and then we'll get ready for next year. We're already kind of in the plans for that. So.
Well, congrats. That is a stacked lineup and a stacked schedule. Yeah, is the best way to keep up with you on Instagram at Will Jones Official.
Yes, that's the best way. And then we'll be releasing a bunch of platforms for tour schedules. And it's so funny, this year got so busy that I've been playing catch up on trying to make sure everyone gets informed of where I'm going to be and what I got going on. The best way though is to get on Instagram, Will Jones Official. You can find me on all the platforms, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. I think Facebook might still be Will Jones Band. Mm-hmm. They don't let you really change your name for some reason that often. But Will Jones Official on Instagram is the best way to get up to speed on what I got going on and keep up with me.
Well, hopefully this holiday season you can unwind a little bit. I saw you're a dad, you're married, so hopefully you can have some, I have
a beautiful little baby girl. Everly Kate is a movie star. Everly Kate Jones is 18 months old. So we have her and my beautiful wife, Kristen. So yeah, we might get a couple weeks of downtime, and I know we're already getting geared up to go back in the studio to get some more music recorded and get a game plan for next year. So I'd say we'll get a little downtime for the holidays, but in the meantime, it's country music and highways, and that's the way I like it. So
there we go. Well, we're super excited to see you at Nashville Dance Fest this weekend, Will, and thank you for hanging out with us at Y'all 106.7.
Well, I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see everybody this Sunday for Nashville Dance Fest with us and Diamond Rio. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.